I bought everything you sold me. You told me you love me, baby. I'm your superstar again. I was always gonna win. I was so embarrassed. In your eyes, in your mind, in your heart, in your head. I'm your superstar. I'm your superstar. I can't be nothing less. I can't be nothing less. Sound. Oh, won't you say it out loud? Won't you say I'm down? Proud of me just when I'm down. Someday when it counts, I'm gonna beat the buzzer, baby. The scream is because of me. You remember when you told me? You told me love me, baby, I'm your superstar again. I was always thinking this, I will always thinking this. And I tried things I might put in my head, You told me love me, baby, I'm your superstar again. I was always gonna be All right, we're hanging out. All right, everybody, go shift to the YouTube channel. I'll be right. I'll be right over there in a second. All right. So I would go to. Whoa, so weird. I'm on delay. That's so weird. All right, go to the YouTube. Go to the hit the bid channel and see if there's a difference. I think right. There's two things being happening right here. So everybody, please go to the YouTube channel. That was my old YouTube. I mean my old YouTube channel. I don't know what I'm saying right now. I'm having a hard time speaking. 1 second. View my channel. Make sure I'm on the right place. All right, let's get all 300 people in there. Go round them up. All right, do me a favor. Everybody click that link. Go there, say hello, and then hit the like button. And then let me just get a drink or something, and we'll shoot the shit. We just had a pretty good morning. We had to wait for that UNH short, but it turned out to be worth the wait. Blue line, orange line. Got paid. Wonderful trade. Double bottom at orange. It's been a cover since. And if you saw what happened on me just now with the UAL trade, you'd be laughing or you'd be crying. Or you be illin. You be illin. All right, so all right, let me go get a drink. We'll get into this. So everybody, please go to the YouTube channel, and we'll start the show. And most of you guys have heard what I'm about to say because you're in the live room. So just briefly, hi YouTube. My name's Kenny Glick. I'm the greatest trader on the internet, and if anybody was out there who would like to challenge me to that, My challenge that I've been laying down since '08 still remains. And now I started at $10,000. Now it's $100,000. So if you'd like to try to outtrade me and you have a service, this is only going out to you wannabe gurus and service providers and Discord and WhatsApp chat room infidels. Step to this guy right here. I'll put up $100,000 of my own money. We'll come up with some contests and parameters, mostly day trading because that's what I'm the best at. And when you can't outtrade me on a daily basis for an extended period of time, which is impossible, you might be able to tie me. Nobody will ever beat me. I won't take your money. I just want you to shut your service down, get off YouTube, and tell all your peasants and serfs that follow you that I'm the real king. And you were just a usurper. I've been watching too much Game of Thrones and House of Dragons. But it's true. There is only one king. And my queen, Solid Jello. Hi, Daddy. But each day we come to the market fresh, right? It's not about owning stocks or swing trading or any of that stuff. Every day we sit down with the notion, the idea that we have a trade that has been working every single time it shows up. And that's something that most retail traders would die for. Consistency, discipline. That's the paramount characteristics of a profitable trader. Discipline. The style that we trade each day instills the discipline in you. And while you're here at the YouTube channel, let's get a couple of likes. I think I could like my own thing. Yeah, can I like my own video? Where's the like button? Hey. Where's the like button? What am I looking at? Oh, there it is, way down there. Oh, no, that's just a heart button. Oh, look, you could heart here too? I didn't even know you could do that. Yeah, let's go some hearts. Some happy faces, some parties. Hey, look, 100. We're 100% accurate today. Thought I was going to lose on a UAL trade earlier and still worked out. But wait a second. Let me just, oh, there's the like. We only got 7 likes. Come on now. We got 59 people in here. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Let's go. We only got 59 people in here. There should be 259 people in here, friends. I'm not asking for much. If you don't come to the chat room, if you don't come to the YouTube show and hit the like button, you're not invited to the schmooze tonight, which is a very special smooze. We're having Joe, the analyst, our semiconductor hero. And it's very important to know what these guys are doing, considering the industry has just collapsed around us with a 50% haircut on the socks. So, very important tonight, 8 o'clock. We cannot comment in the dungeon, but no way to send. I see you. I see you right there. I'm here. I see you there. Hi. There's a dungeon. By the way, the schmooze will be in the dungeon tonight, so you guys don't have to leave. I like you. Thumbs up. Thank you. So make sure you're on the right feed, too. There's 2 feeds going on. You need to be on the Hit the Bid radio feed. Let me just give it to you again. All right. Thank you for the likes. We're up to 53. Let's get that. Let's keep hitting it. I don't know. All right. All right. Because I keep getting thrown off TikTok, so I got to get back in the good graces of YouTube. So you guys watching on Stock Market Media, come over to the Hit the Bid channel. It's more fun. All right. I'm going to get a drink of water. We'll review what we're doing. I am still short. I'm long the SQQ. I believe there's an imminent crash on the Qs. and I believe we're in the middle of it right now. It's just a very slow motion crash. But you notice that if you noticed Humana and UNH this morning, which put me into a little depression because I was in on the trades because again, I'm a bear, but I'm a bear with purpose. I'm a bear that's learned the hard way. The market never stays down. So when there's crashes and corrections, usually it's a great buy, especially in an industry where it's the most dastardly, nefarious business. They're criminals. But who makes money? Criminals, right? That's why going back to that whole Bitcoin thing, I remember if you guys, when the first time you heard of Bitcoin, you heard of it as a money laundering, drug dealers, people using Silk Road to buy illicit drugs and hiring hitmen using Bitcoin. And for some reason, my first thought was, well, that's bad. What was I thinking? If drug dealers and the pornographers and the money launderers are involved, you want in. Criminals know how to make money. I don't know what I was thinking, but anyway. But if you've been in Bitcoin for the last 3 years, what a waste. Kind of like ASTS now. But that's why we trade. And that's why we try to do our best on a daily basis. Make the money, take the money, and then, let a few things ride. And I'm letting something ride right now that doesn't normally work, except I believe I'm right. I believe the market's about to give back a lot more because we've lost our leadership, which was semis and AI. And normally, the Qs, who are the kings of the market, they're the kings. Just like, and again, let's stick with the Game of Thrones and Battle of the Bastards and most of these movies that you see. Does the king go charging into battle? If he's like Braveheart, he does, but usually the king's hanging out in the back, sending in the pawns, the Irish, the knights, and you got the archers, then you got the heavy horse. King's hanging out in the back. That's the Qs. So while everybody's getting annihilated right now in this downtrend, it's waiting to give way, and they're going to come for the king. And that's why I believe we have to see 685 on the Qs. So I'm hanging in there, but I can't do it with options because I don't know the timing. So I'm long SQQ now. And I'm hoping to make it through today. And if I can make it through today, I'm holding into tomorrow because I think we're about to get 5 more points out of it. And if we get the 5, right? If we get over that 45, that's when we start going to 52. And here comes the correction that I've been talking about, which we're in it right now. There's no doubt. We're 40 points off the highs. You're obviously in a downtrend on the Qs, as subtle as it might be. Each time we rally, it's a lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high roll. And one of these rolls is just going to, it's going to shit the bed. And then we'll start buying everything inside because the shorters will get they'll start shorting at like 660 and they'll be right for a couple of days. But just like what happened to them in February, at the end of March, you might not have another greatest move in the history of mankind. Again, if you guys don't understand what happened here, this was partial short. This was mostly a short squeeze. And obviously the government stepped in to save the market out of our first correction that we've actually had that lasted for more than a couple of weeks. And then how did it end up? You got annihilated because shorting is short-lived and they're going to die. It's going to happen the same exact way. So now what we're witnessing here is the same exact thing I witnessed here. Double top, lower high, lower high, lower high, rollover. We thought we were getting it that time, kind of like what I thought here. And then it bottomed and bounced. Same exact thing. It bottomed and bounced, but it never broke a new high. Uh-oh. And then it rolled. And then that time you got the capitulation. It's exactly what we're in right now. Here. Double top, pretty much. Attempt to sell off. Holds prior support. Bounces, but doesn't break a new high. Uh-oh. Same thing. So now we're waiting for the next leg down. But we're going into earnings season. If it doesn't happen in the next couple of weeks, every night it's going to be different. So Netflix is going to report, we're going to react on the cues. To the next day, Tesla reports, we're going to react to the cues. Then comes Microsoft, we're going to have another reaction. Then comes the Google, then the Amazon, and then comes the Meta. So every night, depending on what one of those big guys says, that's how the cues are going to go. But I believe we're going to just keep seeing selling into the up moves, and inevitably they're going to rug pull the whole market. And again, my market, I talk about the market, the cues. The other market's doing fine. That's why I was talking about UNH this morning, because if you've owned tech for the last 3 weeks, you're getting annihilated. Look what UNH has been doing since they got annihilated. That's why I love markets that crash and get hammered, because you find wonderful opportunities like UNH. Faux show, bro. There's your Andy Dufresne. There's the faux show. Andy Dufresne, ass crack, Kardashian bottom, multi-day VWAP break. And that's why all these lines are here. We were buying this stock here, selling up here, selling some here. And then, I screwed up by not holding, but I don't really hold too much. So today, I was actually legitimately scared to short the stock, because usually when stocks get away from me, they keep going and going and going. But again, I put my fear aside, gapped up stock on earnings. There's the VWAP jiggle and the shuffle, and there's my short right there, breaking underneath the double bottom, through the whole number, on its way to the orange line. Blue line, orange line, because the market's rigged. So, as I've been exemplifying since 2012, really, let's call it 2015, because for 3 years I ignored more or less what I had discovered. I didn't really put it to good use until 2015, pull my head out of my ass after getting my ass kicked for 3 years shorting the market. So these last 10 years have been just insane. This year is epic, because other than the fact that I own Rambus and Nokia and Lightpath and Silver. Silver's actually now gone from making my year to ruining my year. And it really is amazing how it got caught up in that squeeze and just became a pump and dump tech stock. I think Silver's dead now. I think it's done. That is pretty freaking awful what they did. Because I'm telling you, if I'll get back to the regular programming in a second. I just want to give you an overview of what's happening here. If Silver wouldn't have gone parabolic, I waited 30 years, legitimately 30 years for this move. I've been buying silver for 30 years. I've really been buying silver since 1987. And here's your monthly, right? There's that high, right? If it would have just went to like 55 and consolidated, and then went to 60, pulled back to 57 and consolidated, and then went to 60, pulled back, it would have been fine. But because it went parabolic moves are often met with corrections and crashes. And what I waited 30 years for now is all but gone. And I believe that it's done, because this is a crash. It's going to take a while for people to lick their wounds, because people got in at 80, 100. I mean, I'm sure nobody was buying at 120. I mean, I'm sure somebody did. But I am so disappointed what they did to gold and silver, more than so silver, because I don't have as much gold. But what's not good about it is that now it's everything that you liked about the trade doesn't exist. Oh, it's an inflation hedge. No, it isn't. It goes up when the market's weak. No, it doesn't. It's a safe haven. No, it's not. Oh, well, it's an industrial metal. They're running out of it. No, they're not. That's been the same story. They've been saying that same story for 30 years. None of it's real. The only thing that might be real is that the big banks are manipulating it to stay back down now, which is probably real. Will it squeeze again? I don't know. Might take 30 years, but you know, half my net worth is, I didn't even get to enjoy it. When it hit 120, I was like, I can't believe it's at 120. At least I hedged some of my silver with this AGQ short, but just pathetic. But that's why I love staying focused on just what we're doing intraday. I do as best as I can, right? Like a trade like IBM. Imagine owning IBM. You just wasted a year and a half of your life, right? Woo. So what's become my favorite stock now? IBM. Because it's already crashed. So now I'm looking for the short squeezes and the buyers and dollar cost averaging and people that believe in IBM. Is IBM going out of business? Most likely not. Same thing with Oracle. This thing is just awful. If you would have told me Oracle would be at 125 this year, I would have bet you $1 million you're wrong. And here it is. It was one of the best swing trades I've ever done. Got this thing we bought at 180, sold 220 and 250, and then 220 on the way back down. Never in a million years did I think it would be ever below. I didn't even think it would go below the 175. And that's why I don't invest. I don't want to be in these down draw, hoping things come back. I want to make money. Be disappointed when something goes, again, let me show you what happened to me at UAL. It was comical, but yet very hurtful at the same time. Because if you don't laugh about it, you'll be crying. You'll be crying, right? So why are we trading UNH today, friends? Well, they reported earnings. And right from the get-go, look at this chop. Freaking awful. But it wasn't awful. It's just consolidation. So even if you bought any of these VWAP breaks, Kenny, I thought we're supposed to buy VWAP breaks and get paid. Why isn't it at the orange line? I don't know. It's just waiting. It never broke down, right? So here's the original faux show was right at the beginning of the day. That's the 930 low. That's your stop. Broke VWAP, went up, came back down. Did it break that price? Nope, you're still in it. Broke VWAP, went up, didn't break out. Oh, it broke down. Did you want to? Oh, no. Most traders get disappointed and they'll just say, screw this thing, I'm out. Not us. We just waited because we trade if then. If it breaks this price, then we must sell it. So not only did it not break that price, the consolidation led to another fake out, shake out, fake out, shake out, fake out, shake out. And then finally, we got the breakout when we bought it. 118, right? And immediately goes to the orange line and you're getting paid, right? And then it pulls back. We're not getting nervous. We just got in. We're going to use VWAP as our out. Next thing you know, ripping. Got paid a little bit more. And then I had a little bit left. And here's where, if you weren't there to witness this, it's still hard to believe, right? I put my stop right under the whole number to try to hide from the algorithms because they love themselves some whole numbers, right? It's funny now, but it really isn't funny. I put my stop at 117.95, just a nickel under the 118 to try to hide. And look at the price it goes to. It gets me personally and then rips as if to say, you suck, Kenny, and I got faux show broed. And it was something to witness because it really felt like they were coming after me. And that's how I've been feeling for 30 years. So if you feel that same way, I'm with you. It seems like they are out to get you because the market is out to get you. So the only way to fight is to use those if-then statements back at it. And when you have if-then and VWAP, you have your discipline instilled in you to remain and stay in the industry. And then you can laugh at these moves where you're like, I cannot believe I just sold it at 17.95 and it rips 4 points as soon as I get out. And then it comes right back, which I feel a little bit better about that. Now I could maybe do this trade again, but it really unbelievable, some of these trades. But then again, I like watching, you point out the negatives, but then there was plenty of positives. We did make money on the trade, just got stopped out of the last lot. But we traded SpaceX. Again, sorry, I don't want to include myself on the trade, but some of us did, because yesterday was probably the most dramatic moment in the history of the stock. And once again, proving that the market's rigged. Because if you remember, this stock has only been alive now for 30 something days. So here's 30 days on a 20-minute chart, just to show you the whole life of the stock. Right? You got to go back a little bit further. Is it 90 days already? Nah, let's go 90 days on an hourly. There it is. So that's the lifetime of the stock. We had a very nice day with it on the first day. I went from saying, I don't think anybody should buy this, to holy shit, somebody just bought 70 million shares at the open. I'm in. But right at that time, it printed 135. And that was a real print. And then it printed the 150, 250, and we got involved at 150, 250 using the 150. 150 got us 180. That was most of the trade. Some of us held past the 180 and even got to the 220 area where, at 220, you're thinking it's going to go to 250. But then, it rolled over and we started looking at it as a short once it broke down to the prior low. And it's been a short ever since. And then when it really started to roll over through the 180, we weren't thinking 160, 150. We were thinking 135, because the program, the fat finger trades, are the matrix and the pre-programming of the market slipping. They're telling you where the program is. We have a program. This stock needs to get to 135. And it got to 135. And yesterday, if you guys are watching SpaceX as close as I do, it was the most dramatic price action I have seen in a very long time. Look at this. You guys see that? This thing went from trading 100,000 shares, 80,000, it hit 100,000. There was a bid on the stock for 4 million shares. Anybody seen a bid? Like you would think, right? So that means somebody was bidding it, right? By rational thought. Somebody just came along and said, I'm looking to buy 4 million shares here at 35. And somebody said, okay, sold to you. And they hammered him. He shows up at the bid and they hit the bid. Because in this market, that's called a spoof. They build the bid. Momentum was already on the way down. They show the 135. They got to show the guy, and they printed the whole thing. And you got a 2.7 million share buy or sell, actually, at 35. And immediately goes to 32.50. And then fought its way back, which was very impressive. So this morning, I was like, you know what? That's very impressive that it came back to close above 135. Let's see what happens today. And we were looking at it as a buy. And you had 3 or 4 opportunities. Fake out, shake out, breakout, fake out, shake out, breakout, fake out, shake out. Not bad. But now, just like that other trade, the consolidation this time led to a breakdown. And suddenly that long trade, if you were out of it, became a short. And now what are you seeing? Fake out, shakeouts, and VWAP retraces. So before we go any further, when I say this is the greatest market ever, I don't care if it's a bull market or bear market. The reason this is the greatest market ever right here on July 16th, 2026 is this. You're getting opportunities to trade the same name 3 or 4 different times, quite often on the other side of the trade, like the Citibank, which was a phenomenal long, and then it became an epic short. ASTS this morning was phenomenal because it did everything you could possibly want to see in algorithmic trading. holds 57.50, holds 57.50, holds 57.50, holds 57.50. How many times can it hold 57.50 without you wanting to buy it when it breaks 58 using the 57.50 as your out? Perfect. Zip. And everybody got paid up to 60, almost 61.50, and then you get stopped out at 60. But then, because you know so much about trading once you hang with me, you saw that. What the hell is that? You know what that is? That's an engulfing, bearish, blow off top candle. Does anything good usually happen to the stock after you have an engulfing, bearish, blow off top candle? The answer is no. But then you realize, all right, let's just see what happens. We got the engulfing, bearish, blow off top candle. Usually bad things happen. And then it breaks VWAP, confirming something bad's about to happen. Now you short it. The better you get at this, you'll start shorting it on the rollover here at like 60.30. But if you want to wait for some confirmation, how about 59.50 breaking? And then using the 60 and the 61 as your outs. And then the stock does the Jerry Orr back. It gives it all back to the price where we thought it could go, which was the pre-market lows and the overnight lows. And now I'm thinking capitulation again. Maybe we take the other side of this trade. Just waiting for it. Holds it. Holds it. That's either from Cliffhanger or the episode where they played soccer on The Simpsons. Galiaga 1. Holds it. Holds it. Holds it. So that's where we're at. If you guys are on the YouTube show, say hi. I'll say hi again. Hello again. So every day when I'm going to, if you guys don't know, I do the YouTube show at 11 o'clock. The idea was to attract new people, but nobody knows I'm here. So the only way they're going to know I'm here, let's all start showing up at the YouTube channel, get the viewership going. So then the algorithms will show me on a couple other pages, and I'll get, maybe start getting some new viewers. Hello. And that's it. And I mean, it's been a pretty solid day. You know, and here's a couple of more trades, and obviously UNH was the banger. And you know, again, I'm not short anymore because I got stopped out on the double bottom when it broke back over 437.50 and 440, and now it's an 8-point sell-off since I got out. What else is new? But again, I was hoping to see it go back to VWAP. But now you might be looking at a 1-minute multi-day VWAP reversal trade. Again, I'm not getting involved right now, but you know, made some money on UNH. I made some money on UAL. You know, should have been a really epic trade. And I am still long SQQ because I believe we're in the middle of a crash, and I do believe it's going to get a lot worse, and we're going to see 5 more points on this within the next couple of days. And if I'm wrong, I'll tell you exactly when the market's going to crash. August. Let me get the date for you. If the Qs aren't under 685 in the next couple of weeks, you know, we're going to be getting into earnings season, like I said, and every day is going to be different. It's going to be what the big Mag 7 or big QQQ stock did that on earnings will influence the market. So we might get some chop. I still believe chop's going to end poorly for this market. And again, it's not a monstrous move. I'm just looking for a nearby double bottom test, which is 685. If it breaks it, then we're in some serious trouble. But I just do think we're going to get it. But very hard to time it. So now what I'm doing is I'm staying long SQQ. It's not an option. So I don't have to have my timing completely right. But if it doesn't sell off in the next couple of weeks, then we start getting into the earnings, we get some more chop. August into September is usually where we start getting some weakness. But here's the icing on the cake, fellas and ladies. When I'm out of town and volatility is abound, it usually gets worse. On Wednesday, August 12th, I'll be hitting the road and I'll be out of communication probably for 2 days minimum. Be ready. August 12th, 13th, and the 14th. Put them on the calendar. Those will be some really, 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 if I'm right, and that's it, if we don't get the sell off in the next couple of weeks. Because now we're going right into, we've got, let me just make sure I got my calendar right. So tonight, if you don't know, we're having a schmooze, but we're doing something extra special. We're schmoozing with our analyst friends from the semiconductor industry to tell us if we should be scared shit of all the stocks that we own, like Rambus and Vicor and VIAV and MXL and Nokia and ATOM and all that stuff. MXLs and everybody, LPTHs and Nokias and all that stuff. So we're going to have Joe the analyst on with Don Corleone. We're going to do our podcast live. So if you want to ask questions live, we'll address them. And then we'll, between 8 and 9, we'll podcast. And then 9 to 10, we'll just regular schmooze. We'll get involved. We'll take a look at Netflix because they're returning tonight. It hasn't been good for Netflix. And you've got my favorite, one of my favorite stocks, Alcoa, which I'm very enthusiastic about because now, once again, I never, ever thought Alcoa would be under $55 ever again. And here it is down 10. So I'm super bullish Alcoa going into this number. Not taking it into the number, obviously, but looking forward to seeing the action tomorrow. All right. So that's where we're at. And if you don't know, just email me for the link and the password, kennyglick at AOL.com, and I'll get you a link and a password. Link and a password, 2 bits. By the way, did anybody buy the IBM? Shamo? No? How you like me now? Oh, you like it much better now, blue line, orange line? Right? You see, that's this stock exemplifies why I'd rather be a trader than anything else, right? I'm thinking the tech sector is getting hammered. The Qs are going lower. I don't want to own stocks. This is the worst time to be buying tech, but IBM already crashed. You're looking for a reason to buy it. And what's that reason to buy? Fake them out, shake them out. Gets to the VWAP for one more fake them out, shake them out. And a VWAP break. Buy it. Where's it going? Orange line. Trade's over. But look at that entry. That's 206, homies. That's an exit at 213. That's not just a day's pay, not just a week. That could be your month right there. Just staying focused on what's in play. And obviously, IBM's in play. It just crashed. You think it's just going to sit around? You got people that were shorting it that want to start taking their profit. And you got the dollar cost averaging people. Same thing. Back to that Oracle trade, right? I have to be looking at, by the way, I'm looking at it as a buy today because I don't short the stock down under 150. I'm looking at it as another IBM opportunity. But Oracle, obviously a broken stock. IBM, a broken stock. You take what you can get. And then she looks at me with big brown eyes. And I'm going to get a bagel. And if anybody has any questions, now would be the time. I'll be right back. Rah, rah. Yes. Did you get me my bagel? All right.
so hard that it was rough. But lately I've been doing better.
I don't want to hear it. I know you love this song. Don't be embarrassed.
And I see my family every month. I found a girl my parents love. She'll come and stay the night, and I think I might have it all. And I thank God every day for the girl he sent my way. But I know the things he gives, he can take away. And I hold you every night. That's a feeling I wanna get used to. But there's no man as terrified as the man who stands to lose you. Oh, I hope I don't lose you. Please stay. I want you, I need you, oh God. Don't take these beautiful things that I've got. Please stay. I want you, I need you, oh God. Take these beautiful things that I've got. Please don't take. I found my mind, I'm feeling sane. It's been a while, but I'm finding my faith. If everything's good and it's great, why do I sit and wait till it's gone? Oh, I tell you, I know I've got enough. I've got peace and I've got love. But I'm up and I'm thinking I just might lose it all. Please stay. I want to get you all back. Take these beautiful things that I've got. Please stay. I want you, I need you, oh God. I need these beautiful things that I.
Just letting it breathe here for a second. You guys know this song?
But I thought I had everything, I was lonely. Now you're my everything, I was lonely. With a lot of love, with a lot of drugs, then I found you. She liked petty crime, she had green eyes like Mountain Dew. And where she go, I'll never know if friends bounce to. I guess it's their loss, but they'll never know what we'll amount to. Would you be my light, be my yellow, PYT walking down for a pillar, put a smile on his face at the end of the day. End of your mate, I'll just fly away. Who'd have known you would save my life? Who'd have known you would fly my kite? Could you tell? Could you tell where my head was at when you found me? Me and you went to hell about just to find peace. But I thought I had everything, I was lonely. Now you're my everything, I was lonely. Yeah. I remember I was all alone. Late night, you would call my phone to check.
Oh, that is a good guess, but not Leon Bridges. But that is a absolute amazing guess. Yeah, this is Bakar or Bakar. I don't know. I just stumbled onto this guy probably while listening to Leon Bridges. If you like Leon Bridges, Have you got into Alan Stone yet? Alan Stone rocks. All right. So anyway, yeah, here we're at. This is what we're always at, right around this time. Oh wait, somebody who's calling me? Stop calling me at 11:43. Hello?
Hey, Kenny. Mike, how are you?
Oh, you don't know what I do for a living. Okay. Is this the coin guy?
Yes, it is.
All right, you're on live on the internet with us. I do a live show on the internet for 4 hours a day. I know you call me later, but I'm not really interested in those the Kennedys. But what I am interested in is
when they go up, they're gonna move, and when they do move,
you know what I like is 1943 Walking Liberties. I'm always looking for those. Anything from 1943. I collect all coins from 1943, even 1843. If you got any cool shit, I'm always interested.
1943 back, I got you. But at the end of the day, these Kennedys, they're gonna be like fun coupons.
Fun coupons. You're my kind of guy. I love it.
I like that. Right. I mean, you think about it, you pull these out, there's gonna be $100 bills and coins. I'm the guy that rebrokered these. When we see silver go back well over 150, we're gonna be winners. That's what you want to be.
Oh.
You don't want to be the guy saying that I should have bought it when it was at 20 or 30, and now it's at 80 and 90, and you didn't do it, and now
if silver's over 80 bucks again in the next 5 years, I'll be shocked now. I think they broke
it's
it.
gonna be in the next 6 months.
Oh my God, I love you. All right, I'm gonna hold you to that. I'll call you back.
I hope so.
All right. All right, later. If you just say 180 in the next 6 months, I love delusional silver guys. See, I need that guy in my life. Calls me every day to try to sell me something. 180 in 6 months. Sure. Give me 80 bucks. How about 2 up days in a row on silver? 180. $180 in 6. By the way, if silver's at 180 in 6 months, party my house. 180. 6 months. No, he said 180. He said when we break 120, we're going to 180. I said 80. Maybe you're lucky if we see 80 ever again. I'll be more careful next time. You'll be dead. Meanwhile, I bought a whole bunch of silver this week. I actually bought that Medusa shield. Thing was beautiful. Wait till you see this thing. I bought all this 250th anniversary stuff. I'm a sucker for that stuff. You put an American flag and an eagle and a Statue of Liberty on a silver coin, I'm in. This dual date stuff, I just lost a lot of money on. I bought these dual date silver eagles for $300. I bought freaking 20 of them. I never going to 3. I mean, maybe one day. But all my troubles will be wiped away when I'm selling my SQQ at $55 next Tuesday, or tomorrow, or maybe even today, because we're going down. That's why that IBM trade was so special. Because bucking the trend, right? A lot of we talk about involving trading is what people do wrong. And what people do wrong is they see a stock like IBM today and the market starts tanking. And again, it might not be a bad short now, but they'll go to the stock that's already been weak in the weak market, even though it's not weak. It's bucking the trend of the overall tech malaise. That's why you stick with the trade, what's happening today. And that goes for the ASTS trade, right? So, you got the squeeze, you got the trade, And now the trade that we talked about this morning, if you can make money on the long, don't be afraid to take the other side of the stock because this thing is broken. Right? It's broken. And where's it going to go to? It's going to go to that next area of where it faux showed, and that was 55, around 54.75. And look where it's headed. And then when this thing capitulates again, which it will, it'll be a good buy. I still like this name. I do, actually. And I love it because it's down 80 points. It's going to go down more. And then the shorters are going to get a little overzealous at 47. It'll go to 45, pivot, and probably rally 30 points. I'm already counting this as a win, as a long trade. Maybe not anytime soon, but I'm already factoring in. I'm going to be buying this stock sooner or later. I guarantee it. But it's better to buy them when they break down and then the shorters get involved. You know, again, I was talking about this earlier. Does anybody here, even in whatever dimension you might be living in your delusional, psychopathic world that you live in, does anybody think that they made their decision, right, to what would they do? So they're trading lower today. What's the official news? ASTS Space Mobile trading lower today after the company announced the pricing of its $1 billion proposed public offering of convertible senior notes. They didn't think of that yesterday, right? They've been planning this, right? So the insiders know, and the insiders all have cousins and nephews that don't have jobs, and they have sons that don't have jobs, and they're all just glomming off their friend who struck it rich on ASTS. Right? So he calls his cousin, who calls his friend, who calls his uncle, sister's brother, and say, hey, listen, we're putting together a $1 billion deal here. We're going to be not liquidating. What's the word I'm looking for? When you add more to the float, you're come on, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not liquidating. It's thinning out something. There's a word I'm looking for. Diluting. You're diluting it, right? They didn't make this decision yesterday, right? The decision was made here when it started going down, right? All their idiot cousins and nephews are getting short. Right? So now the news is out. You have the visceral reaction. That's why you come back. That's why quite often you see stocks going up on what is perceived to be bad news because the smart money's already, what do you think they've been doing? They've cashed out and they've been shorting it because they know this was coming. So now, yeah, you'll get the visceral reaction, but it's going to be an overreaction considering the stock's already down 55%. That's why for the next couple of days, you got to be looking at this as a buy. They could get a little bit more selling because it's what usually happens. It gets oversold. Capitulation, right? This isn't a capitulation. There hasn't been that rug pull candle really, except for the blow off top engulfing up here. They'll pull it, and then it'll be a buy. So now I haven't traded the stock in a long time. Up until today, definitely right back on the main watch list because I'm going to be looking for reasons to buy. That's why I'm focused on it, Oracle every day. And now I'm watching IBM for the last 3. I have not traded IBM 3. You know, I hadn't traded today. I missed that trade. But I haven't looked at IBM more than just on earnings day in 20 years. But now you got to watch it every day because it's in play because of that major moment. And that's it. And then you're focused, and then you have your focus. Like right now, what am I focused on? I'm focused on SKNY. Popped, and then it dropped, and then it popped, and then it dropped. 2 days ago, if you would have said you think the stock's going to be back under 160 anytime soon, I'd be like, no. But then yesterday's action, I was like, ugh, something is broken here. Maybe this ain't going. And there it is, right back under 160. Like CBRS, right? Never, right? After that faux show on the earnings, and this thing broke over 180 and then got to 220, I thought you'd consolidate and you would never even see this thing under the 200. And here it is at 177, right? That's why you can be wrong. You just don't stay wrong. You got the wrong idea. Everybody's entitled to have a bad idea. But as soon as that idea that you took is telling you you're wrong, you say, all right, this ain't working out. And you're done. You cut it free. There's always another trade. There's always another better trade coming. That's why fear of missing out does not even exist in this dojo. But now, back to Skynet. If you guys know SKHU, you got SKHU, I believe, is the one that you could trade on the upside. But there was another one, which I like, HYNX, is Hynix. Is this 2X to trade this stock? Or you can trade that stock, the mothership, as we call it. So now, I made money on it earlier. Didn't trade this one. There's the fake out, shake out. I would have sold here, got stopped out here. Now it'd be done. So now I'm going to wait. I'm going to see if I get my price. Maybe they faux show it down under there. Or if this turns into a faux show and then it starts to break VWAP, maybe I will get involved. But that's the best part about having three profitable trades already. I look at UAL as a huge missed opportunity because I did kind of blow that trade. UNH, it was good. I should have done a lot better on this too. So the way I view a day is if I've already had a series of opportunities, if I've had some wins and it's coming to be 12 o'clock, now is observation time and patience. You're skilled like Solid Jello, who trades in the middle of the day with the tight ranges, then you're ready to rock. Me, I'm a 9:45, 11:45 guy. That's my 2 hours where I do the best. And my window is closing. So I go back to being the stalker. I'm thinking I got to watch SpaceX, see if that thing flirts with the overnight lows. Because if it breaks down, you might be looking at 120 on a trade that we did very well on I didn't do it, but you had two nice little long trades and under 135, very bad. And then, like I said, you start breaking under yesterday's lows, you might have a full-blown capitulation to 120. I mean, this stock just, again, if you didn't take profit on it, now anybody that bought the stock is losing now. They're rethinking what they're doing here. You can't recapture 135. This stock has got some serious problems. And serious problems means 120. 120 doesn't hold, then you're in trouble, real trouble. Because that you could really go to $90, if not 80. And that's my story. I'm sticking to it. So if you guys haven't left a comment, please leave a comment because that's how I'm going to know you were here on the YouTube show. So please schmooze me, baby, schmooze me. So type something in the room, click on the thing, share the link, share the nice. And every morning, please join me here at 11 o'clock on the Hit the Bid channel to watch the 11 to 12 o'clock show. Tell some friends about it. On the earnings multi-day VWAP reversal, do you need the retest from underneath like the UNH trade? Well, I'll tell you something. UNH was very specific, right? So at first I wasn't going to short it because I was afraid, because usually stocks like this keep rallying. But I went right back to, okay, it's gapped up stock, reported earnings. The shorts got hammered at the open, and now I'm looking for a short. So once it held this price, so that's the one, that's the 450 and a quarter, that's the 450 and a quarter, chopping around, but can't get anything going on the upside. So now 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 4 minute, 5 minutes, minute, 7 minute. Now it's underneath VWAP. That candle can't get above it. Then at 150 and a quarter, I hit the button. But I really was, very, very quickly when I got to that low of the day. And again, I start with 300 shares. I'm covering 30 shares right here. I'm covering 50 shares at 447. Sorry, 447.50, because 450 generally gets you 447.50. 447.50 gets us 445. I'm covering. Now I put my stop at 447.50. Right. So the entry was, yeah, any of these would have been good, because you're defining the risk. So let's say you're just shorting it because it breaks VWAP and you got short here, and then you just had to sit through the jiggle. The stops, let's say you shorted that first VWAP break. Your stops are the prior highs. And again, that's a big ass candle right there that you'd have been exposed to, but it's the prior high candles, right? And then the target was the orange line. That's why this trade was epic. And again, listen to what I'm telling you. By the time I got to the orange line, I'm done with 80% of the trade, because I'm covering on the way down just in case it doesn't get to the orange line. And then by the time it breaks the 442 and gets to the 440, I'm covering 440 on the way to orange line, hits the orange line, starts to bounce. Now I'm done at 437.50. But when you have the orange line down here, blue line above it, and you're playing with a gapped up stock, that's the perfect trade. Gapped up, can't hold VWAP. Today's VWAP will revert back to prior day. And that is how you make a living as a VWAP reversion, gap reversion, VWAP algorithmic trader. And then you'll start to see how it's literally the same price over. I mean, it's the same trade over and over and over again. And then 10 years have got behind you. No one told you when to run. You missed the starting gun. And if you don't know that lyric, seriously, people, come on. Speaking of music, got a lot of concerts next week. Should be a lot of fun. You guys like Muse? Anybody in New Jersey? Anybody living in New Jersey want to come hang out for the Muse show? 22nd, next Friday, next Wednesday. New album's pretty good. Don't tell me you don't like Muse. All right, I'm going to play us out with some Muse. You guys have a great rest of the day. Don't forget to join me here at the YouTube channel every day at 11 o'clock. Or better yet, join the website. And remember, email me for the schmooze tonight. We're starting. I put some music on at 6. We'll start yapping about charts around 7:45. My guests will be rolling in around 8. And then we're talking all semis, Netflix, the health of the market, and the imminent crash that is here.
give you up, but I'm addicted. Now that you know I'm trapped, sense of elation. You never dream of taking this fixation. You will seize the life out of me.
No, you're not. Just there. Here's a typical trade. You're looking for VWAP retrace, right? So it's chart pattern recognition meets VWAP, right? So it's chart pattern recognition. That's why faux show bros are important. So what SKH? So why was I thinking about buying it? Because it did a faux show earlier and I missed it. It breaks the low of the day, comes back, reclaims that spot, and then breaks out and reverts to the VWAP. What just happened here, right? That's why I was saying I'm looking to buy the stock at some point today, and at some point just happened. I'm not even in it. So that's why it's an annoying kind of day, because I'm like in the middle of analyzing what I want to do, and then the trade starts to happen. That's why a lot of times I'm not involved in my own trade because I'm too busy explaining it, and then I'm not even in it. So there it is. That's the fake out, shake out, back above the 161. And just like any other trade, it's not about whether it works. It's why am I buying it? I want to buy it 161, knowing that I could use 160 and a quarter as my first stop and 159.37 as my second stop, knowing that the faux shows usually have a VWAP retrace. So I'm buying 161. I get, let's say you got 200 shares. You got 100 stop at the pivot, which is the 60 and a quarter, and your other stop is the low of the day because you have no other choice. That's a decent risk. You know, $160 stock, you're looking to risk 2.5. Here, you're only risking 75 cents. And there's the freaking trade. You got to be kidding me. And while the market's going down, mind you, and I am still short the Qs, by the way, and long SQQ. You don't get to ask me twice. I'm not kidding. Remember, we started this whole conversation. When the guy that says the market's never going down is telling you it's definitely going down, don't be Jimmy. Right, Jimmy? Jimmy's like, oh, yeah, now he's saying the market's going down. Yeah. No, Jimmy. I've been saying it for 3 weeks now, Jimmy. Ask your wife about me, Jimmy. I know she's out there. Hi, I miss you too, Jimmy. Jimmy's wife. Look at that trade, friends. You're talking about a market that's not rigged? What did it just do? It just showed you I'm rigged. There it is. Define your risk. Enjoy the rigging. VWAP retrace. Sold. Now you raise your stop to the midway. You hope for more at the bottom of this candle, because now if it holds VWAP and gets above it and holds it, you got yourself an Andy Dufresne VWAP break. Because look, if you smish it down, what's that look like? Just an Andy Dufresne going nowhere, waiting to break out and run. And that's how good trades are. That's how you find trades. It's usually the same stock. And here it is, and I'm not even in it. So now I'm just going to go eat the rest of my bagel and complain about not buying this at 161 like I was planning on. See? Anyway. But if you are in it, do the right thing. Sell some here because you got paid. Raise your stop, and you're in. All right? All right. It's going to be a long night, so I'm going to go rest, go eat my bagel. It's been a pleasure serving. Remember, this is the best trading market ever. Don't miss tonight. It's going to be really important. You know, again, Joe the Analyst is the semiconductor guy that taught Don Corleone about semiconductors. So this is the guy, shake the hand of the man who shook the hand. Whatever that song is from the Grateful Dead. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Shake the hand of the guy that shook the hand. So big schmooze tonight, and maybe we even get a DJ set at 10 o'clock. All right, don't forget to email me. Thanks for being here. Tell 10 friends. I appreciate everybody. Do the best you can and stay away from hypocrisy. And remember, compromise is the way we're going to save society. Nobody gets what they want. But if you get a little piece of it, you should be happy. See ya.